No hype reviews.
This week we're reviewing Frontline Fuel of War, powered by the Unreal 3 engine. I'm going to let the narrator explain the game's premise.
That's how it started. Was it World War III? We didn't know. But one thing we all knew, Red Star forces had hit hard. Nearly all of the coalition forces stationed in Turkmenistan were gone. At this point, the coalition began their first offensives of the war. The troops were ready, yet Red Star forces seemed to be everywhere. The fighting to claim energy assets all around the Caspian was brutal. But the biggest news was that the Chinese had invaded Taiwan. Things were really getting out of hand. As for the stray dogs, well, they were moving north now. They were about to unleash some inspired vengeance of their own. Sergeant Thompson always made sure of that.
So the major facet of this game is the ability to control RC drones. The first one I'm going to show you is the helicopter from the Marine side. It all controls pretty smoothly. You use the bumpers on the 360 controller to raise and lower altitude. And for the first helicopter, you use the right trigger to explode. We also have remote control cars. Unfortunately, all ground-based vehicles in this game do control kind of poorly, but the RC car is one of the best ways to take out a tank.
Good job, great dog.
And finally we have the missile helicopter, which is one of the more overpowered weapons in the game. To prove a point, I need to show how rocket launchers work. You scope in, wait a second, and then you get a lock. Now, in this single-player mission, I'm driving a tank around. I'm doing this to show you how horrible the AI is. I get out of my tank, run up these stairs, and what do I find? An enemy with a rocket launcher. I killed like 5 of his friends while he just stood there with the ability to take me out. To make up for their massive stupidity, this game supports snap-on technology. You'll see that the spawn point is 80 meters away from me, and as soon as I shoot one person over there, they all know exactly where I'm at. Now, to further illustrate the snap-on technology the enemy employs, I'm going to drive this tank slightly over a ridge. You'll see that there are no visible enemies. However, I'm getting shot at. There's nothing that makes the game more fun than shooting at a cloud. You'll notice as I run along, the grass fills in along the hillside. That's actually a minor complaint compared to this. I'm walking over to get some ammo, and a box pops in my way. With that done, the main draw of the game is the multiplayer. You'll notice there's only one game type, Frontlines. So it's like any other Battlefield game. You try to get to a spawn point, and then you stand there for a couple seconds while you capture it. A spawn point where you stand next to your objective and hold X, which disables you until you capture the point or shot from behind. In multiplayer, the gunfights are fairly satisfying. A few well-placed shots will drop an enemy. However, death isn't as fun. When you die, you have to wait 7 seconds before having the chance to respawn. After you wait your 7 seconds, you have to wait another 3 to 5 seconds for the game to load the assets, allowing you back into the field. While the game itself isn't bad, I'm still going to recommend that most people skip it. If you're not a fan of first-person shooters, this does nothing to change your mind. If you are a fan of first-person shooters, you're either playing Call of Duty 4 or Rainbow Six Vegas 2 right now. However, if you don't have either of those games, or maybe you're looking to spice something up for a weekend, it is a solid rental. Stop by next week when No Hype Reviews takes a look at either Sins of a Solar Empire or Crisis Core.